Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to discuss a little place called Sturgis. And Sturgis has always been something was kind of on my bucket list for a while. And people always ask me whenever they find out I ride a motorcycle, they say, "Oh, have you been to Sturgis?" And I'm tired of answering that question. But today I'm going to talk about why I probably will not or ever go to the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. So first off, pretty much everybody who's watching this video probably knows what Sturgis is, where it is, but I have some people that watch from other countries across the pond. So if you don't know, just a quick little rundown. Sturgis is one of, if not the biggest motorcycle rally in the world. It's held in August in Sturgis, South Dakota, USA. And I believe it started in 1938, so it's been around for a long time and attracts roughly on average, I think about 500,000 riders every year. I think actually in 2015, it topped out at over 700,000. So it is an extremely large motorcycle rally. Now, one of the main reasons why I will probably never do Sturgis is, quite frankly, I do not like people that much. Not a big fan of meeting new people. It's just who I am. I do not like crowds. I don't like being in crowded places. And if I have to contend with, hundreds of thousands of people in the same kind of area, no thank you. I do not want to do that. I can't stand it. I just feel creepy. It makes me feel awkward. So that would be a big reason why I'm not going to go there. Now, other than that is the fact that it's just plain crowded. I mean, if you've ever seen the shots of just the main street, it's just bikes and people. And I couldn't contend with that, I don't think. I'm also somebody who is kind of a loner when it comes to riding. I basically ride alone. I don't really have any friends that ride. I used to, but now they've gotten rid of their bikes. They've got married, they've got kids, whatever. I basically ride alone. And even going to events here and trying to ride in groups here, I can't stand it. Now, most of the people, the riders that go to Sturgis, I would say most of them are fairly experienced. They're fairly competent and responsible. But let's face it, there are going to be a lot of inexperienced riders there, and there are going to be those who are going to go have some beers and get out on their bikes. I don't want to be worried about what's happening in front of me and behind me when I'm in a procession of bikes of 100 going this way and 100 going this way. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to have anything to do with it. And really, if you look at the statistics on the accidents that happen out there, there's usually on average 3 to 4 fatalities every year at the rally due to motorcycle crashes. In 2024, they listed that there was 12. Now, I think that 12 is the entire state in general over basically that 2-week period. So maybe not all of them can be traced directly back to Sturgis. But I do not want to be in a big conglomeration of bikes where I don't know if this guy's drunk. I don't know if it's his first time riding a bike. I just don't want to be a part of it. Can't deal with the crowds. Can't deal with the people. That's just me. Now, basically, the other big reason that I wouldn't go to Sturgis is basically expense. It can be extremely expensive. Now, let me just preface that by saying expensive for me, for the way I would do it. I am not saying in general that Sturgis is a crazy expensive thing. But I know if you look at something like going to get a campsite, say, I guess Glencoe, I think it's $300-400 US. Someone can, tell me if I'm wrong on that. To get a wristband, get a campsite for the entire 10 days. That's not too bad. The issue I have with that, again, is I'm not a big people person. I'm really not interested in pitching a tent 10 feet away from everybody else. Also, when I was younger, I used to camp, but I'm just not a camper anymore. I would much prefer to have a roof over my head, especially when you have some of those nasty storms that creep up in South Dakota. And South Dakota is not that far from where I live, and we have some nasty windstorms, rainstorms. I don't know if I really want to be sitting there through that in a little tent and being in a big mud hole afterwards. Doesn't really do it for me. So if I was going to do it myself, if to be comfortable for me, I would probably want to get a cabin or a hotel. And number one, you have to book those well in advance. With a cabin, you could get a few people maybe to stay and split things up. But again, I don't really know anybody that goes there, or I don't, any of my friends don't anyway. And as for a hotel, that's going to be extremely expensive. They're going to crank up those prices over that time period, the same as they would if there's a big UFC event in Vegas and you want to stay on the strip. Well, it's going to cost you hundreds of dollars, maybe into the $1,000 to stay just one night there. And I'm not really interested in spending that amount of money just to be comfortable. Now, the other expense I would be looking at is food and booze over that time. Now, I'm not a huge drinker, but I'm definitely going to have some drinks when I'm down there. And then the other one is food. Now, I have never been to Sturgis, so I'm sure people will bring that up in the comments. But so I don't know exactly how much a beer or whatever to eat costs. But knowing what things cost around here when there's a sporting event or a festival or a concert, it's friggin' expensive. And I have no doubt that the vendors at Sturgis are going to be quite expensive too. I mean, they've got to make money too. A vending permit down there is probably not cheap. They've also got taxes. There's all kinds of stuff. They've got their travel expenses. So they're going to crank up the cost as well. The demand is there, and I don't blame them for doing it because I probably would if I was a vendor there. You've also got taxes. So South Dakota, you're going to have a state tax, you're going to have a tourism tax, and you're going to have a municipal tax. The municipal tax, if I'm correct, is about 2% for Sturgis. And they have the option to raise that whenever they feel. So I'm pretty sure, again, someone can tell me I'm wrong in the comments. I believe they do crank up that tax when you're there as well. So that's going to add an extra expense. All in all, it's just way more than that I'm really willing to pay to go to a motorcycle rally. So I don't mean this video to be hating on Sturgis. I'm absolutely not. Anybody who wants to go to that rally can go. I've heard a lot of good things about it. But I have heard a lot of bad things as well. But you guys do you. If you love going to Sturgis, by all means, go. I have no issue with anybody who wants to go. But for me, it's just, I just can't see it. I can't justify it for myself. If I want to go there and be comfortable, I know what I'm going to spend and I know what I'm going to go through, and it just, not for me. And hey, never say never. Who knows? I might make this video and then next year I'm down there. Who knows? I have heard from a few people that it's become quite commercialized from what it used to be, I guess. I've also heard there's a very, very high police presence, which has only gotten more and more over the years. So they say it's not quite the same party as it used to be. And I know people might point out that, hey, you've never been there, so you can't criticize it. And point taken, I get that. I'm going by what I heard, and I'm going by the research I've done. I just can't see it being something that would be really, really for me. And those are the reasons why I wouldn't go. Let me know in the comments if you guys go, what you think of the rally, especially if you've been going for years. I'd be interested to know what changes you have seen over the years and whether you're going to plan on keep going or not. But anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. So until the next video, we will see you later.